Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current and latest news. As I did say, again, as we always do usually on this channel, there's lots to talk about on this video today, so if you do consider drop your likes, and if you do consider subscribe as always. So the first topic of the development I'm going to update you with today on this video is in relation, to Koulibaly, and obviously as Manchester United all know, and as we're all aware of, obviously Koulibaly is our number one major priority target for the summer, to Old Trafford, and we all understand it will cost us in the region of probably at least 90 million, maybe 100 million pounds, to get Koulibaly in the summer. But more things today is updated in relation, to Koulibaly, as reportedly I think he's ruled out an exit from Napoli, reportedly due to the recent comments he's currently come out with in a few media reports. It's been reported in. Reportedly, Koulibaly has admitted he's happy, with that. He's happy that he's attracting interest. He is pleased that teams are currently following him, but reportedly Koulibaly has come out and insisted that he's committed to Napoli, and he's happy to stay at Napoli. Reportedly is Koulibaly, as we all currently know. So obviously he's currently our number one major priority target, and of course he's happy with the transfer interest as he has admitted, but reportedly he said he's happy to stay at Napoli, as we all know is Koulibaly, because his performances under Maurizio Sarri were very, very good when obviously Sarri was Napoli manager, and obviously this season under Carlo Ancelotti, his performances have been very, very good of Koulibaly's indeed, and he's grown and developed fantastically well. He's age 27 now, and we all know that if we can get him in the summer, it would be a major signing, and obviously he'd address our defensive deficiencies, and we can make him the most expensive defender in world football. If we can, somewhere along the line come to an agreement in the summer. But obviously Manchester United have obviously been linked with him in the past couple of windows. We were linked to him last summer. We tried getting him throughout the course of the January transfer window. Of course, Manchester United, of course, had held negotiations, with Napoli over this. But as I did say, Napoli were standing firm. They were being ruthless, and they weren't willing to sanction him off, as I currently said. And obviously, Man United in the process put 3 bids in. The recent bid that had been turned down, obviously, was £95 million. But he's been at Napoli a number of years now. I think he's made about 194 appearances for Napoli, and he's currently one of the best players in world football, in his current position that he fulfills. He's obviously, that central defensive position. But reports were coming out, was it sometime last year, if I can remember rightly, saying he was unhappy at Napoli, to be quite honest. This was obviously the majority of this, I think, was due to this racial abuse he suffered last year on Boxing Day back in December. Obviously suffered some racial abuse, and it did say then he was very, very unhappy with Napoli, was Koulibaly. But, reports have changed since then, and today, as it has come out in the media, suggesting now that reportedly he's happy with the transfer interest, and he's happy that his attraction interest is Koulibaly, but reportedly he does remain fully committed, to Napoli, and he reportedly said from his own perspective that he's happy at Napoli, is Koulibaly, as I currently said, and obviously he's our major number one target, to go for in the summer. I do think Manchester United are going to revive their interest, to try and get him in the summer. Don't forget he has got a contract with Napoli until 2023 as Koulibaly as well, so he's still got like 3.5-4 years left on his deal with Napoli as Koulibaly. But we do need a strong central defender, and that's obviously one of the areas where we do need to strengthen up in our team, and obviously we've got Victor Lindelof, who's doing very, very good this season. I think his performances have improved fantastically well. Lindelof this season is showing that determination, that he can play out from the back. He's galloping forward more, he's getting more involved, is Victor Lindelof, and I think him and Bay, complement each other very, very well. I think they're building a bond together. They're blending in very, very well together. Victor Lindelof and Eric Bay. Even though Bay, to be quite honest with you, has been in and out of the team this season, but I think now under Solskjaer, them two, will play regularly. Bay and Lindelof, because as I did say, I think they're on a different level. To Phil Jones and Chris Smalling. But as I did say, we need a strong central defender alongside Lindelof or alongside Eric Bay. And Koulibaly would be fantastic. Don't forget, he's an experienced centre-back as well. He's 27. Financially, Napoli would make a huge, huge profit on the player, because Napoli only paid, what was it, £6-7 million for him from Genk, as I couldn't said. And he's been at Napoli since 2014, so I think this is his 5th season now with Napoli. But reportedly, our move for Koulibaly could now reportedly come to an end. It's in a few media outlets after admitting he's happy to stay with Napoli. He's fully fully committed to Napoli, but he has admitted he is very, very satisfied that he's attracting interest, from a couple of teams. But obviously, Manchester United have been the team that's obviously, been mainly, linked with Koulibaly, as I currently said. But we definitely need a strong central defender, even though we have improved defensively under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because Lindelof and Bay, look very, very good together. But in relation, to Phil Jones and Chris Smalling, Phil Jones has obviously been here a number of years now, as Phil Jones, as we all currently know, and obviously he's injury prone, as I currently said, and he can be sometimes good, when he does them on the games. But I don't really rate Phil Jones, to be quite honest with you. And I know a lot of Manchester United fans, of course, were disappointed, about Phil Jones, signing a new 4-year deal with an option of a further year. So basically, I think Phil Jones should leave in the summer, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. In relation to Chris Smalling, he's been one of the longest servants here at Manchester United as well. Chris Smalling is his, 9th season with Man United. He signed a new deal earlier on this season as well, so I don't really highly rate him now, to be quite honest with you. But Chris Smalling, who's obviously just recently recovered from injury, and obviously Phil Jones, as I said, are nowhere near on the same levels of Victor Lindelof and Eric Bailly, because Bailly's got great potential, as I currently said, and Lindelof's performances have really, really improved this season. But it is very, very essential that we do get a new strong central defender in the summer. But yeah, Koulibaly still remains number one. We'll try everything, to try and get Koulibaly, to come to Old Trafford in the summer. And if we are willing to pay 90 or 100 million pounds, which I think Napoli want, we probably will land the player. But what he's just recently come out with, he's still happy to stay at Napoli, but he has admitted he's happy with the, he's happy that he's attracting interest. His Koulibaly, as I currently said. So he's just made under 200 appearances, since he's currently been at Napoli. As I said, but his progression's been good. He's grown and developed fantastically well, and he's an absolutely great player, as I currently said. But there's been obviously other targets, of course, that Manchester United have been interested in, as I currently said. As reports broke out last week saying that Man United were reportedly going to get around a £200 million spending spree, a £200 million spending spree to spend this summer. Because as I do keep saying, I do think, players are going to be leaving Manchester United. I do expect at least 3 or 4 players, to leave in the summer. Of course, Manchester United, as I do keep saying, are looking to hire a football, to come into the club as well. And as I did say, was it 3 or 4 weeks ago that there has been a few candidate names being mentioned, to come and take the director's role at Old Trafford. We know that Paul Mitchell got mentioned. We know that a few others got mentioned as well. I can't basically remember the names, but it reportedly said a while back, that Paul Mitchell was the number one. But reports were saying we were going to get around £200 million to spend in the summer, because, as I did say, these areas where we do need to strengthen up. We need a central defender. We definitely need someone on that right-hand side, as I currently said, because as I do keep saying, Ashley Young and Antonio Valencia are obviously both 33 years of age. They've passed it now. They're too old. And in relation to Antonio Valencia, I can't really see him leaving Manchester United in the summer. Obviously, he's just, suffered another injuries, Antonio Valencia. And obviously, Valencia has been here since 2009. So Valencia has obviously been one of the longest servants at Manchester United as well. He's made over 300 appearances. He's won everything here. And he's grown and developed fantastically well. And he has been essential over the years as Antonio Valencia, as I currently said. But he's hardly played this season. Obviously, Ashley Young's been first choice over Antonio Valencia in that full-back position. But Valencia, as I said, he could leave in the summer, because there was speculation about Valencia, leaving back in the January window, because it did say Fulham and Newcastle, were interested in Valencia. But Valencia has currently suffered another injury, so he's out for a few weeks anyway. And in relation to Ashley Young, obviously Young's just signed a new 1-year extension. He's been one of the longest servants at United as well. He's been here since 2011 as Ashley Young as well. And Ashley Young, as I did say, he's been here since 2011. I think he's made over 200 appearances in all competitions, Ashley Young. He's obviously, been our first choice right back this season as Ashley Young, as we all know. When he was young, he was mainly right winger, but obviously, we operate him as a right back. Now and again, we have actually operated him as a left back, Ashley Young, but mainly he plays at right back, does Ashley Young. He's 33 years of age as well. He's aging up as well. So I think, Young's only got a year or two left in him. Valencia's probably only got a year or two left in him as well. So obviously we do need someone at that right back position. And we've got Diego Dalot. He's very, very young. He's 19, so he really hasn't got that experience yet, Diego Dalot. But I think we do, potentially we do need another right back. And we do need someone on that right-hand side as well. And that's one of the areas, where Manchester United, of course, do need to strengthen up. But Valencia, Young could possibly still go in this summer, even though he's just signed a 1 year extension on his contract. I think Valencia could go in the summer as well. I think Matteo Darmian, as I said, another player that's going to definitely go in the summer, because Matteo Darmian's enjoyed a very, very difficult time, since he's been at Manchester United. He struggled to get in the team, as I said, as Matteo Darmian. He's hardly played Matt Darmian, and he has been here since, 2015. I think, he had a lot of experience of playing in Italy, when he was a lot younger in his prime. He spent the majority of his playing career there. And obviously, it did say back in January that Juventus and Inter Milan were interested in Matteo Darmian. And as I did currently say, I think Manchester United have activated his contract by a further year, so we can cash in for the player in the summer, if the offers do come, as I said. But yeah, we definitely need the central defender, because as I did say, Phil and Smalling are nowhere near on the same levels as Lindelof and Bailly. And obviously as well, Marcus Rojo, who's currently still injured. I think he's still injured, but he did confirm his return back to training. But in relation to Rojo, he's really enjoyed difficult times since he's come to United. Had a lot of injuries, struggled with his fitness regime. I think he's still slightly injured now, so he's not fully fit yet, Marcus Rojo. But reports coming out a while back saying that he could be leaving Manchester United in the summer as well. To make a bit of room in that central defensive area. But Rojo can play in quite a few positions, so he is basically good there as a backup option, Marcus Rojo, because I think he can actually operate on the left. He can play as a wing back. He can play as a central defender. So I think his versatility is very, very good. But in relation to Rojo, he may leave Manchester United in the summer as well, because he's had a lot of injuries, since he's come to Man United. So he could be another player, that could leave United in the summer as well. But it is essential that we do get a strong central defender in. In relation to Koulibaly, though, I do really highly rate him. Obviously, he's Manchester United's #1 target, where to go for in the summer. But he has admitted that he's happy with it, that he's attracting interest from teams. He's happy that teams are following him. But he has said he's fully committed to Napoli, and he said he's happier to stay at Napoli. But Manchester United are going to go for him in the summer, and obviously we'll have to pay around £90 million, to get him anywhere in the summer. Koulibaly, as I currently said. But there's been a host of other defenders, that have been mentioned in the media as well. We know that Inter Milan, Milan Skriniar has been mentioned. He's 23 years of age. Of course, he's 4 years younger than Koulibaly's Milan Skriniar. I think he's one of our main targets. We could go for him this summer as well. From Inter Milan's perspective, Inter Milan want to get him to a new to secure him a new long-term deal. Milan Skriniar. He's 23. He's nowhere near on the same levels as Koulibaly. Is Milan Skriniar, but I still think he's a very, very good player. And you could say if he was 27, he'd be somewhere along the lines on the same level as Koulibaly, because I think he's still a very, very good young player. And he's got a lot of talent, this player. But since he's been in Milan, reportedly his performances have been interesting. I think he's rated at around 75 million pounds. Is Milan Skriniar, to be quite honest with you. But we was obviously linked to him last summer. There was a narrative going on about it throughout the course of the January window as well, that Manchester United, were interested in Milan Skriniar as well. So he's another name that's been mentioned. And we know Harry Maguire. I do like Harry Maguire as well. Obviously, we heard the narrative about Harry Maguire last summer, that reportedly Manchester United matured an interest in Harry Maguire. He recently signed a 5-year deal with Leicester back in September last year. He did admit in the press, was it the other week or whenever it was, as I did update that, he admitted he wants to play in Champions League football, wants to elevate to that higher level, does Harry Maguire. And as I clearly said, he's a very, very good player, and I think this season his performances for Leicester have been very, very good. I think he's grown and developed. He's flourishing very, very well with Leicester, is Harry Maguire, and I do think he's a very, very good player. Is Harry Maguire. He's well Premier League proven as well. But of course, I think he's rated at around £60 million. Is Harry Maguire, something like that. But we've been linked with a host of central defenders, as I currently said. We heard back in January about Porto's Eden Militao. He's 20 years of age. As I currently said, he's Eden Militao. Very, very young. Only joined Porto last summer. As I currently said, he's got a release clause around £40 million. He's got 4 years on his deal. He's Brazilian, so he's only very, very young. Is this Eden Militao? But we've previously, been linked with him in the past as well. Eden Militao. We know that we were linked with Toby Alderweireld last summer as well. But what I did say in relation, to Toby Alderweireld, as I did say about Toby Alderweireld, quite honest with you, I think he's getting a bit too old now. He's 29. He's lost a yard of pace, as I said. And obviously Tottenham have extended his current deal till 2020. So he is available for a reasonable fee, of 25 million in the summer. Because obviously Tottenham have obviously, included a 25 million release clause on his current new contract. contract extension, Tottenham have currently given. But as I did say, he's lost a yard of pace. There's definitely of his game. He does need to adapt to Alderweireld. Man United inquired about, getting him last summer to Alderweireld, but not for me. He's 29 now. He's nearly 30, and I think he's a bit slow now. He's a bit too slow, and as I did say, he's lost a yard of pace, and he does need to adjust his game a bit more. But he's Premier League proven his to Alderweireld, and don't get me wrong, he can be a world class central defender, but nah. Nah, I wouldn't want him to come to Manchester United in the summer, guys. If I'm going to be quite honest with you. I wouldn't want him to come to Manchester United in the summer. If I'm going to be quite honest with you, but as I did come and say, it would be ideal because reportedly we are going to get around £200 million to spend in the summer. And as I do keep saying, I do expect 3 or 4 experienced players to leave Manchester United, as I currently said. So really, it would be ideal if we could maybe get 1 or 2 young players in that could grow and develop under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Because obviously, I still maybe think it's still maybe not guaranteed who our manager is going to be on a full-time basis at the end of the season. But as the media was reporting, was it like 4 or 5 days ago, that reportedly it did basically say that Solskjaer will be named the Manchester United manager on a full-time basis at the end of the season. It did say it probably won't be officially announced until the end of the season, of course, but reportedly it got revealed that the Manchester United board had currently made a decision that it did say Solskjaer will be named Manchester United manager on a full-time basis, because obviously the board feels as though that it can elevate us to that higher level, it can get us into that commanding position, where we do want to be, and they probably feel as though that it can get us in that commanding position where we want to be. It can push this team forward. This is obviously what the board feel, based on his fantastic progression he's done so far since he's come into the club. Solskjaer, obviously, we suffered a really, really bad defeat to Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League, and obviously we're two goals behind, as we all know, so we've got a 2-goal deficit, to come back in, and Solskjaer came out in the press saying that he does admit mountains need to be climbed, but to be fair, Solskjaer didn't complain in his post-match interview at PSG, he didn't, basically, blame the referees or he didn't start moaning. He basically praised the opposition, did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and he did admit from his own perspective, did Solskjaer, that PSG are on another level because they've got a lot of good players, got a lot of experienced players, some good young players in that team as well, and he did praise the opposition, did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I currently said. But apart from that, his progression's apart from that result, we've done really, really well. Solskjaer's rejuvenated the team, as I currently said. He has got them playing in the right manner, he's put the right vein, the structure of the team's right, the cohesion of the team's right as well. So that's really, really good from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I do think he suits the strappings of the club. His managerial style suits the club, as I currently said. But obviously, if we had to get Solskjaer on a full-time basis at the end of the season, if we had to get Solskjaer on a full-time basis at the end of the season, Manchester United obviously going to have to pay an additional extra fee of probably around £7-8 million. So obviously this will go to mould, and obviously we've already paid £1.8 million to get Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I currently said. We've already paid £1.8 million to get Solskjaer on a temporary basis, as I currently said. But in terms of the managerial experience, before he came to United, it wasn't really great, to be quite honest, because he didn't do well with Cardiff, got them relegated. He had a bad defensive record at Mould, but he still ended up winning 2 Norwegian titles with Mould, did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I currently said. So I still think, as it stands, he still remains the favoured. I still think Solskjaer remains the favourite, to get the job on a full-time basis at Manchester United at the end of the season, because obviously we know for a long time, Ed Woodward's number one has obviously, been Mauricio Pochettino, as we all currently know. But I think Solskjaer does remain number one now. I don't think it's fully certain who's going to be the manager at Manchester United at Manchester United at the end of the season. But as reports did say 4 or 5 days ago, that Solskjaer is reportedly the favoured to get the job. As I currently said, and he knows everything about the club. He's a great player for 11 years. Don't forget, was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He won trophies, scored goals. He watched some of these, this team now at this day and age. He watched them, grow and develop as well. Did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all know. So he knows everything about the club, and I think he should, get the job on a full-time basis, in my opinion, because he's got us into 4th place for the first time since the opening day. Because when Solskjaer came in, we had a mountain to climb, of getting into that top 4. We're 11 points behind. We've won 10 out of 12. We've scored 28 goals. We've won 6 away from home. We've won 6 on the road, 5 in the league, 1 in the cup. As I said, we've won 8 in the league. So I think Solskjaer's progression's been absolutely fantastic so far, as I currently said. So he is the favourite to get the job. But we do need new additions, to come into the club in the summer. And obviously, as it did come out in relation to Ed Woodward the other day, that he reportedly identified 4 main summer targets. Did Ed Woodward, and Koulibaly is obviously the number 1 target, as I currently said. With Lucas Hernandez from Atletico Madrid also got mentioned as well. And that Lucas Hernandez, reportedly he's got around the 70-odd million release clause, is this Lucas Hernandez. Only just recently turned 23 years of age, can play as a central defender, can play as a left-back as well, can this Lucas Hernandez. I think he's began his career with Atletico Madrid, and he's won the Super Cup and the Europa League, and with Atletico Madrid as well. He's only very, very young in his prime, but he can play on the left, can play in that central defensive position, but I think his release clause is around £70 million, is this Lucas Hernandez. Nikola Milkovic, Florentina youngster, 21 years of age, also got mentioned as well. He can play as a central defender. He can also actually operate as a right back. Can this Nikola Milkovic? He's 21 years of age, as I said. Florentina player. He's Serbian, as I said, and I think he's rated at around 30-odd million pounds. Is this player? But yeah, he got mentioned as well. But we know what's been, there's been talks about, going on in the media today, as we all currently know. This is in relation, to Jadon Sancho. As I did give you an update earlier on what was going on with Jadon Sancho. Reportedly, Manchester United are linked with a summer move, to get Jadon Sancho, and he would be very, very ideal for Manchester United. I think he'd be a great addition, to our team, to be quite honest with you, because he's very, very young in his generation, obviously we're in the search for a winger, and obviously he is a winger, is Jadon Sancho. And since he's broken into the first team with Borussia Dortmund, his performances have been very, very good, of Jadon Sancho's, as I currently said. And since he's broken into the first team with Dortmund, his performances have been very, very good. Only 18 years of age, so very, very young in his prime, Jadon Sancho. And of course, as well, he is English as well. And obviously, he's previously, had experience of playing in the Premier League as Jadon Sancho. He had two seasons, with Manchester City. But obviously, he never played in the first team with Manchester City, did Jadon Sancho. And I don't think at the time City could guarantee Jadon Sancho to get him in the first team. So I think this is the main reason why he basically left Manchester City, and went to Borussia Dortmund. I think he joined Manchester City at the age of 14 because he actually began his youth career with Watford. He spent a lot of years with Watford, did Jadon Sancho. But as I did say, since he's broken into the first team with Dortmund, his performances have been good. This season, in 21 games in the Bundesliga, I think he's scored 7 goals and provided 9 assists. But he has got that determination to attack. He's got that ability to attack. And, he's good at playing balls. He's got that determination to score goals and provide, as Jadon Sancho. But as I did currently say, reportedly, it has confirmed that Borussia Dortmund want around £70 million for him in the summer. Obviously, we've got that financial power, to currently meet his valuation. Reportedly, Man United are willing to pay £70 million, to get Jadon Sancho in the summer, as I said. So obviously, he won't come cheap. What? No. No. All right. All right.
I've gone for City 8-0.
No, you want.
Do you know what they offer 8-0?
What?
Yeah, you're not going to believe it.
What
25 to 1. I've only had a pound and I'll win £6. Bloke went, do you still want it? I went, go on, it's £26 better than a pound if it happened. And he went, I'll tell you something, mate. He went, you never know in that cup. I went, I know, that's it. 8-0. City. I told you I was going for it. Newport to win 2-1. 100 to 1, enjoy. If that comes up, I've won 200 quid. If that comes up, I'll be absolutely in hysterics.
And pigs might fly.
I'll be going absolutely berserk. They're 100 to 1 to win 1-0.
Yeah.
I'll go berserk if that comes up.
Anyway, as I was saying, in relation to Jadon Sancho, though, it's very, very interesting story about Jadon Sancho, because I really, really highly, sorry about that, I was just talking to someone, but I really, really highly rate Jadon Sancho. He's a very, very good player, and Borussia Dortmund paid, £7-8 million for him, for Manchester City, but since he's been at Dortmund, his performances have been unbelievable, and I think he'd complement our team fantastically well with Jadon Sancho, as I could said, but there has been a narrative going on about it today. Borussia Dortmund want around £70 million. Man United are preparing to pay that £70 million for Jadon Sancho in the summer. As I currently said, it did actually mention about Manchester City. I think they have got a buyback option on the current player. Reportedly, it did say any transfer fee that is agreed, that Manchester City will be getting 15% of that transfer fee or something like that. It did mention in the Daily Mail, but based on his fantastic performances, he did win the Bundesliga Player of the Month, the Jadon Sancho as well. With his good performances in Germany, and also he has got a contract with Borussia Dortmund until 2022 as I said. So he'd be a great, addition to Manchester United, if he was to come in the summer, as I currently said. But there's been lots of talks about going on about that today as well. And there's other names that have been mentioned. That Felix has been mentioned, 19-year-old player Felix, Benfica youngster, as I currently said. Only 19 years of age, as I currently said. He's got a buyout clause around, £105 million. It did say throughout the course of the January transfer window that a few teams, were actually interested in this Felix. But since he's broken into the first team with Benfica, his performances have been good. He only broke into the first team last year, but he can't. I think he's mainly a winger, but he can play in other positions as well, so he's versatile. Reports are coming out saying that Madrid and Barcelona have been interested in him as well, this Felix, but reportedly it would take probably around £100 million to get him away from Benfica in the summer, as I currently said. But Liverpool allegedly had the £61 million bid turned down for him back in the January transfer window as well. And he's yet to make his senior debut for Portugal. And he's only 19 years of age, so he is very, very young in his... What? Don't tell me. Yeah. Yeah, but as I said, he's very, very young in his prime, he's Felix. So there has been talks about him, and Manchester United have instructed scouts, to keep a close eye out on that Felix as well. We know in the media that Douglas Costa has... Yeah, but in relation to Douglas... Yeah. But in relation to Douglas Costa, as I said, Manchester United have been linked to him as well. Reports are coming out, was it about last week, about, Douglas Costa at Man United are linked with a summer move.
Have you used that back?
No.
Pamela done it, won't she?
No.
She done it, I think she's doing it house on Monday. I couldn't do with that baby being here for all night. I couldn't do with it, guys, aren't I?
Yeah.
Have you heard it, Kyle, earlier on? Can't do with it, can't stand it. Brand new vacuum cleaner, 60 fucking quid. I've seen them in Tesco, £60 for a vac.
Yeah.
You owe me a tenner, you. Yeah, I want it back today, Charlie. You've got more money than me.
Yeah.
Do you know how much I've got in money?
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
340 quid.
Yeah.
And plus 10, you owe me 350.
Yeah.
And my car's allowance on Monday and my dad's 50 quid. It's no.
Yeah.
Spending 60 of that on a fucking vac.
Yeah.
You're not using vac, no. I'm not a cylinder one.
Yeah.
I'm banging into doors and everything. I'm going out for a pint maybe one afternoon next week. I don't go out on the night anymore, I'm not bothered about nights. And that days is a waste of money, it's shit.
Yeah.
2 days, right? You going up there tonight?
No.
Waste of time, Charlie, you're just wasting your money. Why don't you go to barbers and get your hair done?
I will.
It's hot out there, you know.
I
It's
will.
fucking warm for winter.
I will.
Look at the fucking thing shaved now.
I will.
You feel like damn sight hell with it all shaved off your head. Get Super Zero, like, man. And just leave there a style top, trim top, just say trim top. And can have Super Zero
Yeah.
back and sides.
Yeah.
It'll last miles longer. It'll look good.
Yeah.
Yours is about 6, I think, that miles. You best go up short though, because he gets busy on a Saturday. Well, he gets busy all the time. Fucking hell, Charlie. Go put a good quid on you, come on.
Yeah.
Go put it off. It's only 2 quid. Go put 1 bill.
As I was saying, I'm sorry I keep getting interfered all the time. I was saying, about Douglas Costa. Man United have been linked with a summer move for Douglas Costa, as I currently said. Allegedly, it came out last year sometime, the narrative about that Man United reportedly put a £54 million bid in for him. Reportedly, this had been turned down, but he's enjoyed a difficult season this season with Juventus, of course, since the arrival of Ronaldo last summer. But throughout his playing career, he's been a very, very good player. Reports were coming out earlier on, was it last last week, something like that. Reportedly, like a Twitter post linking him with a summer move to Old Trafford. Juventus could be actually opening to selling him, Douglas Costa. They could be opening to selling him in the summer, Douglas Costa. Because he hasn't really had the chance, to hit a run of form this season, for Juventus due to the arrival of Ronaldo last summer. But Douglas Costa, he said he could be available for around £53 million in the summer. Maybe a lot of Manchester United fans wouldn't want to see him coming, even though he is a good player. He can dribble, he can put crosses into the box as well, and he's 28 years of age, so he is highly experienced. He's Douglas Costa. And throughout his playing career, he's been a very, very good player. Juventus paid £36 million to him last summer. Well, Juventus got him permanently from Bayern Munich, Douglas Costa as well. So his name has been mentioned in the media as well. So there's been quite a few targets, that Manchester United, could go for in the summer, as we all currently know. But as I've already identified to you, the key areas, where we do currently need to strengthen up. But, I think the majority of the team have really, really progressed under Solskjaer. I think Pogba's been getting the freedom to express himself. He's been providing good services, making them good runs. He's Paul Pogba, time of his runs has been good. He's been giving good service, to the front men as well. And he's been scoring and providing as well, Paul Pogba. I've been very, very pleased, with Marcus Rashford. His performances have been good. He's been playing a key role under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as Marcus Rashford. As we all currently know, he's been United player since the age of 7. He's risen up the ranks. He's progressing well. He's been in the senior squad since 2016 as Marcus Rashford. And I think he looks very, very effective in that number 9 position, as I currently said. But he's growing and developing and he's flourishing very, very well as Marcus Rashford. Hopefully somewhere along the line we can agree a new long-term deal. His current deal ends in 2020. I think we do have the option of a further year, but we are hopeful, by the end of the season that we can commit him to a new long-term deal at Manchester United, because his performances, Marcus Rashford's have been very, very impressive indeed. And obviously Rashford is obviously mainly being first choice over the likes of Lukaku and all that, because Lukaku could leave Manchester United in the summer. I do think his form's been slightly rejuvenated, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come in, Romelu Lukaku, but he's slow. His first touch does concern me, and obviously mainly under Solskjaer, Rashford's been first choice, obviously, of what Rashford can offer up front. Lukaku, cannot do this, but he's still a proven goal scorer in the Premier League. He's Romelu Lukaku. He's a proven goal scorer, but he's very, very slow, as I currently said. So a lot of Man United fans may feel as though he is over as Romelu Lukaku, but yeah, there again, he could be in contention, to start on Monday night against Chelsea in the Cup. And in relation, to Alexis Sanchez, he's really, really struggling at Manchester United. Sanchez, he's only been here just over a year, as I said, but he's nowhere near the player he was at Arsenal. Of course, he's 30 years of age. Is Alexis Sanchez now, as we all currently know. So he has lost that yard of pace anywhere, but he's been here over the year, and he has, suffered a couple of injuries as Alexis Sanchez. But we know mainly Martial has been first choice over Alexis Sanchez, because Alexis Sanchez is lethargic now, bit too slow. He's age 30 now, as I currently said, but he's nowhere near the player he was at Arsenal. But there's been rumours going on in the media saying that he could make a return to Arsenal, Alexis Sanchez, because he's on over £500,000 a week, and obviously Manchester United, do basically, want to see the best of him, Alexis Sanchez, when he does get them opportunities. But he will get more opportunities under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and if he does continue to fail, to impress, then he could leave Manchester United in the summer as well. But Sanchez more than likely could be in contention to start on Monday night, because obviously now Anthony Martial's injured. He's got a groin injury. Jesse Lingard on that right, has got a hamstring injury. So they are going to be two big misses, for Chelsea on Monday, as I could have said. But Martial's progression's been very, very good. I've been very impressed with him. He's been very, very good on the left-hand side. He creates the width very, very well. He scores, he provides, does Anthony Martial, as I currently said. But as I did say, Martial is currently injured. So as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer confirmed that Martial and Jesse Lingard are out for 2 to 3 weeks with injuries. It's both muscular problems, I think, but Martial's is a groin injury. What? Yeah. Yeah. And Anthony Martial, as I currently said, so he's got a groin injury. Jesse Lingard has got a hamstring injury, as I currently said. But Lingard's progression's been very, very good at the club, and obviously he's very, very young in his generation, just like Anthony Martial's very, very young in his generation as well. So they are going to be a big, big miss for Monday. So it's going to be interesting to see on Monday, as I do keep saying, how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, is good.
know when you tell me out. Right, well, what for the film for the half at Brighton? I fancied Brighton really won. Who do you fancy Monday night?
Oh no. We've got 2 injuries.
I won't bet on that one.
We've got 2 injuries. Yeah.
I'm going to go for 7 months and I'm sure. Why don't you go for 9 months or what? Or 10 months, something like that. I'll tell you what's good odds, Charlie, 3-2. The young part of massive odds. Well, they have this score from Newport, and it's the 1-11 score. Something for the big thickest Newport, wasn't it? There you go, yeah.
Yes, but sorry about that again. As I was saying, Jesse Lingard and Anthony Martial are going to be big miss for Monday night. But hopefully we can get back to winning ways on Monday night. As I currently said, we do know how much of a difficult game it's going to be. And Jesse Lingard and Anthony Martial are going to be basically 2 big misses. As I did say, it's going to be interesting to see how Solskjaer rotates the squad. It's likely probably Sanchez will start on that left. Maybe Mata will start on that right, for the absence of Jesse Lingard. And Matt, as I did say, he's 30 years of age now. And as I did say, he has lost that yard of pace, even though I think he's still a very consistent player. Juan Mata, of course, Man United have been in talks of getting him a 1-year extension on his current contract, Juan Mata. And he's been in the Premier League a lot of years now. Of course, won everything apart from the Premier League, Juan Mata, as I said. I think he's keen on a 2-year deal, but obviously Man United are only willing to offer him a 1-year deal because obviously he's 30 now. He has lost that pace as Juan Mata. But when you take Martial and Jesse Lingard off, your 2 wide men who have got pace, who can provide, the bags when they're off, the bags of pace is not out of the team because Sanchez is slow, while Mata is currently slow as well. But it'd be interesting to see how he rotates that attacking line, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I said, because it's been mentioned as well that Angel Gomez could be involved, that Chong could be involved as well because he made his debut for Manchester United, his first team debut. He came on as a sub against Reading in the FA Cup 3rd round, as I currently said. But it is going to be an hard game against Chelsea, considering that we seldom win at Stamford Bridge because we haven't basically won there in all competitions since 2012. So we haven't won there, since the Alex Ferguson era, as I currently said. But so far, progression in the FA Cup's been very good. Beating Reading, beating Arsenal, as I currently said, and we haven't got a good record against Chelsea. And Chelsea at home are quite good. They beat Tottenham at home. They beat Tottenham in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup this season. They beat Arsenal at home in the league early in the season. They beat Manchester City at home as well. Away from home, Chelsea, to be fair, have been very poor, especially against the big teams because they've lost at Arsenal this season. They've lost at Tottenham this season. They got hammered at City the other week as well by 6-0. Did Chelsea, as I currently said. I do, as I explained to you, I do think they've got a few minor injuries of Chelsea. I think Gary Cahill, who's obviously been left out of the Chelsea squad constantly, he could leave Chelsea in the summer, could Gary Cahill, because there was strong speculation of him leaving in January. I think Danny Drinkwater hasn't played for Chelsea all season. They've obviously got one long-term absence, and that's Marco Van Ginkel. They've obviously got Ruben Loftus-Cheek out with a minor injury as well of Chelsea. So they have got a few minor injuries, but they should be in contention, to play on Monday, as I currently said. But Chelsea have been poor away from home. Is the pressure, mounting up on Maurizio Sarri because it's only his first season, as Chelsea manager? And reports now in relation to Maurizio Sarri because he hasn't won out in terms of silverware yet. Chelsea are a sacking club. They're known to be a sacking club because they have sacked a lot of managers in a short period of time of Chelsea. They did get back to winning ways in the Europa League against was it Malmo on Thursday night. So obviously their objective this season is Chelsea to get in that top 4 or to progress in the Europa League and win the Europa League and get automatic Champions League qualification, for next season, obviously, or if they want to get in that top four and get Champions League for next season, because reportedly if they don't, it's more than likely that Maurizio Sarri will be sacked as Chelsea manager, and that will be a short tenure because it's only his first season with Chelsea, because he only joined last summer. I think he signed a 3-year deal, did Maurizio Sarri, as I currently said. But obviously their objective this season is to get in that top four, as I currently said. But Chelsea at home, aren't too bad, to be quite honest with you. But it's going to be a very, very interesting game, as I currently said. In relation to Solskjaer, I still think he's the right man for Man United, but questions will be asked, if we don't beat Chelsea, if we don't beat Liverpool, and if we don't get a result against Paris Saint-Germain out, then questions will be asked if Solskjaer is the right man for Manchester United, as I currently said. But in relation to Chelsea, they've got problems of their own. David Luiz, contract extension in the summer. As I said, if he doesn't sign a contract extension, he could, leave in the summer. Gary Cahill could leave in the summer. And they didn't find a replacement for Cesc Fabregas. Did Chelsea as well. They didn't find a replacement for Cesc Fabregas in the January window. So obviously they'll be thinking about getting a replacement for Fabregas in the summer, and obviously a backup for Jorginho as well. But obviously Chelsea have still they're still thinking about that Carabao Cup final against Manchester City. Chelsea, as we all currently know, they play Man City in the Carabao Cup final. So Maurizio Sarri's looking to to win his first major honour as manager, and he's got that attacking philosophy as Maurizio Sarri. And obviously his system, worked at Napoli, because he was very, very good when he was managing Napoli. Maurizio Sarri. But obviously Chelsea do need maybe some signings in the summer. And especially if Eden Hazard leaves, they're going to need someone to replace Eden Hazard as well. He's definitely essentially Chelsea's best player. He's the third best player is Eden Hazard in the Premier League, behind Salah and Kevin De Bruyne. And obviously now he's playing back in his favourite position, on that left hand side is Eden Hazard, as we all he's playing his back in his favourite position since the arrival of Higuain. He's playing back on that left hand side, so he should start hitting form again, Eden Hazard. But I think he is intending to make the move to Madrid in the summer. It will cost Real Madrid around £100 million, but Eden Hazard did say last summer, he did want to leave, Chelsea after the World Cup. Chelsea have been in negotiations of getting him a new contract, as we all know, a new contract. Because his current deal ends in 2020, and Chelsea have been in negotiations getting him a new contract worth, I think, around about £300,000 a week, something like that. But he has been at Chelsea since 2012. This is his 7th season with Chelsea. Of course, he's won everything in English football. He's made over 300 appearances, scored over 100 odd goals, as Eden Hazard as well. And Chelsea do basically know how much of an essential player Eden Hazard is. But he could go to Real Madrid in the summer. So potentially Chelsea will have to find a replacement, for Eden Hazard in the summer. As I currently said, if he does go, which is likely that it will happen. I think the only chances Chelsea have got, of keeping Eden Hazard is if they, they do finish in the top four this season, as I currently said. But as I did say, Chelsea won the FA Cup last season and did beat us, by 1-0. It was a Eden Hazard penalty, so we did lose the final last season. They got to the final the year before, but they did lose to Arsenal in that final. Did Chelsea as well. So they are quite good in the FA Cup, to be quite honest with you. At Chelsea, as I said, but we haven't beaten them since 2012, and his record at Stamford Bridge, is very, very bad. I think we went 9 years under the Alex Ferguson era, without winning at Stamford Bridge. So his record's not too good there. And of course, we did draw with them early on the season at Stamford Bridge. It was a 2-2, as we locally know. We conceded in 96th minute, was it? Or something like that. So that game, potentially, we currently should have won as well. So yeah, we know it's going to be a difficult game, and hopefully we can succeed in the FA Cup. We can get top four for this season as well. But so far, Ollie's done a really, really good job, and Ed Woodward's praised him so far for what he's done at Manchester United. Because he has brought that fear factor back. He has brought that confidence back. He has brought the motivation, back into the team. Which is very, very good to see. As I currently said, it was a distant result against PSG, but hopefully we can bounce back against Chelsea, as I currently said. So yeah, so anyway, the breaking news about this video was, so I got intervened a couple of times because I was talking, to my dad and all that. It's about Koulibaly, to give you an update on. Reportedly, he's satisfied with that he's attracting interest. He's happy with the transfer interest, but reportedly Koulibaly's revealed he's happy at Napoli. He's fully committed to Napoli, as he has said. So our move for Koulibaly, our summer move for Koulibaly, may come to an end now, as I currently said, what he's recently come out with. So anyway, drop your comments, likes below on the channel, guys. And, against Chelsea, it's likely that he'll stick with the midfield of Herrera, Matic and Pogba as well, because obviously they look very, very effective in that midfield, as I currently said. So anyway, as I said, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do consider